guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an update in my 8 brands I want to try or try more of in 2018. I originally filmed this video in January where I talked to you guys about 8 brands that I wanted to basically delve into in 2018. These were either brands that I owned only like 1 or 2 products from, or brands that I hadn't tried at all. I was inspired to do this video from Samantha March, so I will leave her playlist to her 2017 video, and then I think she did a 2018 video, which I will also leave linked down below. But if you guys are interested in seeing the brands from that list that I have tried and the ones that I have not yet delved into, then just keep watching. Alright guys, in that video I mentioned that I wanted to do 4 drugstore brands and then also 4 high-end brands. So the first brand that I talked about in that video was Violet Voss. I'm going to be reading from my notes here, so don't mind me looking down a little bit. So I actually still have yet to try anything from Violet Voss. I know the Flamingo palette just launched, which has really captured my attention and like almost pushed me over the edge of purchasing it, but I also am trying to limit the amount of palettes and makeup in general that I've been purchasing this latter half of the year, so I have held off. I kind of want to see the reviews and see more than just a couple of reviews. Like, I want to wait a little bit, and I know it's limited edition, and if it just so happens that I don't end up getting to purchase it, then, you know, obviously if I really cared that much I would have purchased it already. But that one is definitely one that I have my eye on. I also am really interested in, I think it's the Like a Boss palette, but still nothing has like really pushed me over the edge to purchase from Violet Voss. Really, I'm only interested in their eyeshadow palettes. There's nothing else from the brand that really intrigues me that much. But that is one brand that I talked about in that video that I have yet to try. The next brand that I talked about was Flower Beauty, and I have tried a couple of products here from Flower Beauty. First, I have the Flower Pots blush in the shade Warm Hibiscus, which is this guy right here. And once I purchased this, I could not put this down. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but I have like, there's some wear away on the sort of imprint of the flower on the blush. Like, I have used this a ton. This has quickly become one of my favorite spring and summer blushes. This isn't a matte blush, so if you're looking for a matte blush, or if you only like matte blushes, I don't necessarily know that this is going to be the blush for you, but I've really enjoyed this. This is one that I'll probably only wear in the spring summertime, so I'm getting as much use out of it right now as I can. But really beautiful blush formula, and one that I am really happy that I decided to pick up. And then the other product that I've tried from Flower Beauty is their Miracle Map Lip Cream. I have mine in the shade Bare Honey, and I actually really enjoyed this as well. This definitely is a liquid lipstick. Like, it feels drying on the lips, but it is more of a moussey consistency or texture, so it doesn't even totally dry down. Like, it does and doesn't at the same time. It's definitely not transfer proof, but it is a more comfortable liquid lipstick formula. Not the most long lasting that I've ever tried. If you guys are interested in a liquid lipstick review on this, I'm going to try, I always say this, I'm going to try and get back into my liquid lipstick review series. It just takes commitment, that series. But if you guys are interested in seeing like a liquid lipstick review video on this guy, I would be happy to try and get that filmed for you. But both products that I've tried from Flower Beauty I was very happy with. So far I am really enjoying the brand, and I definitely am interested in picking up some more items from them before the end of 2018. Alright, next up is another high-end brand. I did mention Colored Rain in that video. I have tried their liquid lipsticks in the past, but that is the only item that I've tried from them. And I'm really interested in their Queen of Hearts eyeshadow palette, as well as their little minis. But I was just looking on their website the other night, and I think all their minis are sold out, and I believe they are / were limited edition. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to pick up any of the minis. I do still have my eye on the Queen of Hearts palette, and I do honestly see myself purchasing that before the end of the year. But this is another brand that I actually have not yet tried. Still got 5 months to go, 5 more months, but nothing from Colored Rain yet. Let me know if you guys have any recommendations, or if you've tried the Queen of Hearts palette and you like it. I know there's phenomenal reviews on it, so I'm not really nervous about it. I just haven't quite yet taken the jump to purchase. Next in the video I mentioned the Balm Cosmetics. I had already purchased, so I tried 2 things from the Balm prior to including this in my video. The first was the Mary Luminizer. This was my first highlighter ever. I don't even know if I've used this year. I need to pull this back out because this is an OG classic. But like I said, I had already tried the Mary Luminizer, and then I had tried one of their mascaras, and that I actually did not like that mascara whatsoever. but I'd heard really great things about the Balm blushes, as well as mixed reviews on their palettes, I would say. So I was interested in trying their eyeshadow palettes as well as their blushes, etc. And the Balm was the first brand, I think, from this list that I decided to try in 2018. I picked up 2 products from them. I picked up their Balm Springs blush, which looks like this, and I actually do have this as well as the next product that I'm going to talk about on my cheeks today. I didn't even plan that. But the other product that I have, or that I purchased, was Balm Desert, which is this bronzer from the Balm. There are still some more blushes that I want to try, like their Insta Stain Cheeks or whatever it is, and then I am interested still in picking up a palette from them. There's been a couple times where I've seen the Balm flash sales where everything's 50% off, and I've really considered purchasing, but again, I'm trying to spend less money, so I'm trying to be less compulsive with my purchases. So these are the only 2 products that I have picked up from the Balm thus far this year, but both I'm really happy with. This bronzer I can really only use if I'm a little bit darker or if I'm self-tanned. So I've been enjoying it this summer, but this is one that doesn't really work for me when I'm my normal skin tone. But this Balm Springs blush is very, very beautiful. It's a very universally flattering shade in my opinion. Just like a pretty, like, hot corally pink shade. But again, it comes across very neutral on the cheeks, at least in my monitor. I always go back and then like edit and I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know if I can post this. But anyway, 2 products from the Balm that I've tried thus far this year. Next, I have mentioned BH Cosmetics for another affordable brand that I wanted to try, and I'm happy to say that I've tried one thing from BH Cosmetics. This is one of their palettes, which is what I was most interested in trying from them. I also am interested in trying their like face palettes. I'm gonna see. Oh, I forgot. I also purchased the Carly Bible palette. I just haven't used it yet. I could go grab it, but I'm too lazy. But I'm also interested in trying their liquid lipsticks. They have some lip kits that I'm interested in trying, and then they have blush and highlighter palettes that I've also been interested in the past. But I purchased the Carly Bible palette, and then I also purchased the Weekend Festival palette, which I've actually really been enjoying. The Weekend Festival palette, I've gotten some good use out of it. I've gotten to play around with some of the fun colors, and then I've also done some pretty neutral looks with this. If you guys can still get this, or if this is still available, I would highly recommend. I think it's $18, and it comes with a mirror, and it just has so many fun shades. But again, you can create neutral looks with this palette as well. So I'm very happy with my BH Cosmetics purchase. Again, I did also get the Carly Bible palette. I just really haven't played around with that one as much at all, really. But BH Cosmetics, check it off the list. Alright, the next brand I mentioned is another affordable brand, which is Catrice Cosmetics. I've actually only purchased one thing from Catrice Cosmetics this year, and I've yet to open or try it just because I was trying to cycle through other concealers in my collection. But I did go ahead and pick up the Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer by Catrice, and I just recently finished a concealer off, so I was going to open another one, and I think this is going to be the one that I open and start to try. I've heard really good things about this concealer, except for the shade range. I think there's only like 3 or 4 shades, so shade range on this sucks, but I've heard really good things about the quality of the product, so I'm excited to test this out. And I've definitely had my eye on some more Catrice products, but I'll go back to this again. I'm trying to like not spend as much money on makeup, and I'm trying to actually use products in my collection before I go and buy a bunch more. So there's still items that I'm eyeing from Catrice, but I'm not necessarily sure how much more I'm going to pick up from them before the year ends. I am interested in getting one of their mascaras, but I do have tons of mascara right now in my collection to go through. And then I also want to try, I think they have some blushes that I've been eyeing, as well as some like small eyeshadow quads. So if you guys have any recommendations for Catrice products that you enjoy, let me know. But this is one that I have purchased, just not tried yet. My last high-end brand that I talked about was actually a brush brand. They don't necessarily sell makeup, and that is Smith Cosmetics. And this is the brand that I thought, of all the brands on my list, this was going to be the one that was going to be the most hard for me to try, or the one that I took the longest to pick up. But I'm super excited to announce that Beautylish just started carrying Smith Cosmetics brushes on their website. The second I saw that happen, I went and picked up the 2 brushes that I knew I really wanted to try. So these are very new to my collection. I actually haven't even tried this one yet, but the Smith 230, this guy right here, I've used one time. I really like the quality. Very impressed so far, and I'm excited to pick up some more brushes by them and use them. I know Samantha Ravendall, I don't know, I'm bad with names. Anyway, she basically uses exclusively, like I see her use Smith brushes on her channel all the time, and she always has very flawless makeup, so I was really excited to get my hands on some Smith brushes. Alright you guys, and the last brand that I mentioned is actually the brand that I have purchased the most from. I have quite a few items that I have purchased from this brand, and it is Milani Cosmetics. I am overwhelmed by all the products I have right here. So I really wanted to try their Bold Obsessions palette, which I did end up picking up. I've used this a couple times and I'm pretty impressed with the quality. I think I got my palette on sale, so I got it for about $15 as opposed to $20. And I think for $15 this is a quality eyeshadow palette. So really been enjoying that. Then I also picked up 2 of their blush formulas. I picked up their Blossom Time, no, that's the name of the blush. They're rose blushes. I picked them up in the shades Blossom Time Rose, which I really like. It's a very neutral shade. And then I also have Coral Cove, which looks super scary, but it's actually a really, really pretty color, especially in the spring summertime. Let me see if I can swatch this guy. Even swatched, it's gonna look, there it is right there. Not quite as intense. Really, really, really like this blush formula. It's very soft, very easy to work with. Really pigmented, so you gotta be careful that you don't get too heavy-handed. It's hard to get heavy-handed with this neutral shade, but with the coral shade, you kind of have to be careful. But I picked up those 2 blushes, and then I also wanted to try their baked blush, and I decided not to get Luminoso just because everyone raves about Luminoso, so I wanted to be different and try something else. So I grabbed this Berry Amore blush, and this, again, not a matte blush, but a really, really beautiful shimmery blush. This is, I don't know if you'll be able to see, it's really dark outside today because it's storming, so I'm having to have like a bunch of lights out. Not that my lighting's ever good anyway. This is another one that you can get really heavy-handed with really quickly, so you definitely have to be careful. There's definitely been times that I've gone in with way too much product, but it's a really beautiful blush. Again, love this for the spring summertime. Also decided to try their Milani Baked Bronzer, which I absolutely love. I talk about this all the time. This is a perfect bronzer for the spring summer. Again, it definitely does have like a shimmery sheen to it, so if you're more of a matte blush type of gal, I'd probably skip this, but I have mine in the shade Glow, and I love to use this in the summertime just to warm up the cheeks and give like a nice luminous glow. Been really enjoying that. I also picked up the Milani Prep Set and Glow Illuminating Translucent Powder. I think I've used this one time, so I haven't used it enough to really have an opinion on this. I've been trying to get through my other powders really before going through this, but I wanted to give this a try because I've been getting more into pressed powders lately as well. I picked up 2 items from their Hypnotic Lights collection. I picked up this highlighter, which I'm not even going to try and show you guys because you can never see my highlight swatches, but it is in the shade 3 Luster Light. It's kind of like a peachy shimmer. Now this is definitely like a thicker highlight formula. It reminds me a lot of the Jeffree Star Cosmetics highlight formula. Not my favorite, but I do really like the color of this, so not one that I think like I'll throw away or declutter or give to anyone else yet. And then I also picked up one of the lip toppers from the Hypnotic Lights collection in the shade 4. This is really intense. Like, this is a really shimmery, glittery lip topper. I am not the biggest fan of lip toppers, I've come to realize, so I don't necessarily love this. It's not like the worst lip topper I've ever tried, it's just not my favorite. I also had this, owned this before the beginning of this year, but had yet to try it, and it was the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. I have mine in the shade 2, which is way too dark for me, especially when I'm really fair in the wintertime, but I do really enjoy this foundation and I want to get it in my shade because I love the way that it looks on the skin, so I have been really impressed by their foundation. And then the last item from Milani that I picked up this year, I actually just recently picked up, and I actually haven't even opened it yet, but it is one of their Hypnotic Lights lid toppers, and I have mine in the shade 3, which is Beaming Light. Let me open this so I can swatch it for you guys. So there it is, swatched like in the center of my hand. I don't know, it has like a blue and purple shift. I think it's gonna be really fun. Again, it's like that holographic, iridescent sort of feel. So we'll see what sort of eye look I come up with to use this with. But this is the last item from Milani then that I have tried this year. There's still a ton of products from Milani that I want to try, so I would not be surprised in my wrap-up video at the end of the year if you're seeing even more products that I've tried from Milani. But after that, you guys, that is going to conclude my update for this video. Let me know what new products you've been trying in 2018 and what brands you have been loving. Other than that, if you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do so before you go, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.